With today's update on July 26, many interesting vehicles were added into the game files, including Excalibur, Chimera, 50DP prototype that I am actually able to show you in the game as well, and Object 279E, where that E should mean early. Previously, around 1 month ago, they called it Object 726 and 279 was that UFO looking tank with 4 tracks. But now it is 279 early edition of that UFO looking tank. We have a lot to talk about, let's go. So, ladies and gents, welcome back to my channel. Today I welcome you back to another news episode, as I said, featuring many interesting vehicles that were introduced into the game files. So let's not waste any more time and let's jump right into the action, because we have 4 vehicles to look at in total. So let's start from the bottom and let's move up from there. Let's start with Excalibur, after that Chimera, 50DP prototype, and as a little cherry on the top of the cake, Object 279. And please do not quote me on that, but I think, together with many other sites, that those vehicles, Excalibur, Chimera and 279, are going to be kind of a reward tanks for Personal Missions 2.0. Although I am not super sure about 279 because of one special feature this vehicle has, but more about that when we talk about 279. I haven't heard anything official about it, but this is what rumors say at the least. So, let's get going. Tier 6 premium / special tank destroyer from UK called Excalibur. And by the way, huge shout out to Ricochet.info for providing us super awesome information really quickly, together with those HD pictures. So this is how this vehicle looks like in HD quality, with a lot of details like back pipe on the right side or whatever it is. I don't know, maybe a water tank? Yeah, could be something like that. What do you think this thing is on the right side? But a lot of details on it now in HD quality. Let's take a look at the vehicle specs really quickly. Durability 750, engine power 500 horsepower engine. This vehicle is going to be 27 tons heavy tank with 30 tons maximum weight limit or load limit. Power to weight ratio 18.26 horsepower per ton. And by the way, all that information is translated with Google Translator, so please forgive me. This is why you see power per ton 18.26 kilometer per ton. It is actually horsepower per ton. But moving on, maximum speed 50 moving forward, 15 moving backwards. And I think this is hull traverse speed 35 degrees per second. Ground resistance numbers are really good, 0.86, 1.05, 1.7, and view range 360 meters. Signal range, well, it doesn't really matter. Hull armor frontally 50, side 25 and rear 15 millimeters thick. So we can say that this tank is not very thick boy armor wise at the least. Gun is 76mm with 150 alpha damage, 165 penetration with regular rounds, and regular round, by the way, is quickly, let me see, AP round, and premium round is APCR with 192mm of penetration. But HE 70mm of penetration with HE round. This is also really interesting. In tier 6 versus tier 4s, for example, if you are a top tier vehicle, it comes in handy. Rate of fire is 15.64 rounds per minute. Average damage per minute 2346. Not bad, guys. Reload time 3.84 seconds, rounded up we can say. Accuracy 0.29. Are you kidding me? Gun stats are pretty mad at the moment, at least. But guys, keep in mind, as always, everything is subject to change on all those tanks. Just keep that in mind. And aiming time, aka time targeting, 1.53 seconds. And gun traverse limits, minus 10 degrees of gun depression and plus 20 degrees of gun elevation. The gun traverse limit, this is how we call it, is 100 degrees to the right and to the left. Jesus Christ, this is one weird looking tank with weird angles. Minus 10 degrees of gun depression is really awesome, and 100 degrees gun traverse limit is also pretty sick. So Excalibur, yeah, one of the most interesting tier 6 premium / special tank destroyers on the way. most definitely I would like to have it. Well, for the start, how it looks. But this is tier 8 Excalibur. But moving up 2 tiers, and here we can find another premium slash special tank from UK. This time a medium tank called Chimera. Originally Wargaming introduced this vehicle with the highest alpha damage among all the rest of the medium tanks in this game, 490 alpha damage. But they decided to lower it a bit. So here are the details: durability 1400 hit points with 900 horsepower engine. Weight 56.4 tons with 60 ton maximum weight limit or load limit. Power to weight ratio is close to 16 horsepower per ton, which is not bad. Maximum speed 50, reverse speed 20 for a British medium tank. This is actually not bad, I have to say. Hull traverse speed 30, turret traverse speed 27.1 degrees per second. Ground resistance numbers are once again really good: 0.96, 1.05 and 1.8. View range is kinda lacking, 360 meter view range. Hull armor 114 in the front, 76 and 50.8 in the rear. Turret armor 203 in the front, 76 on the sides and 76 in the rear of the turret. But this turret on the sides at least and in the rear is quite square-ish, and frontal turret is actually also quite square-ish. But the gun is most definitely one of the key features on this tank. Alpha damage 440 with HESH 530. Penetration values 202 with regular AP round, yes, and premium APCR gives you 252 millimeters of penetration. And HESH has only 64 millimeters of penetration. Or actually, it is not only. 64 is quite good, we can say. Rate of fire is quite slow, 3.8 rounds per minute rounded up, and DPM 1668. So DPM wise, not the best gun. Reload time 15.8 seconds on a medium tank. Yes, 440 alpha is quite a thing, I can say, quite a rare thing to see, so this is why 15.8 second reload time at the moment at least. Accuracy is 0.36, which is not bad for this kind of caliber and for this alpha damage. And aiming time, once again, heavy tank-ish aiming time 2.78 seconds. But gun depression -10 degrees and gun elevation 20 degrees. So Chimera, tier 8 special vehicle at the moment. Let me know what you think about this one. But for our next vehicle I can actually load into the game, and this is 50 DP prototype, so let's activate police vehicles only, and you can see 50 DP prototype is in the game files. And guys, I actually saw 2 50 DP prototypes in action yesterday. If I remember to do that, I am going to provide at least one screenshot or maybe some footage as well, when I was fighting versus 2 50 DP prototypes in my IS-7. So let's take a look at this beast in the garage itself. So this is how this tank looks like in reality. 360 look for you, and quickly let's go over some stock stats. So 440 alpha damage, 218 penetration, 441 rate of fire, reload time 13.62, gun depression really awesome, -10 degrees of gun depression, 20 degrees of gun elevation, aiming time 2.88 seconds, accuracy 0.38 seconds, and DPM is close to 1000 or close to 2000, I wanted to say. Next up, survivability 1500 hit points, hull armor 170, 90 and 80. So 170 in the front sounds pretty scary, but luckily lower plate is fairly big, and on the tanks.gg I was able to see that it is roughly 170 millimeters thick over here. Turret is fairly strong, 210, 150 and 100 armor value wise, but this part at least is almost impenetrable, like 270 at weakest somewhere over here. And the commander hatch, however, was also a weak spot-ish. You are able to hit it if you can see this little commander hatch. It was roughly like 170, 180, 200-ish, depending on the angle and all that, of course. So you can penetrate this vehicle. It, if played correctly, if used, if gun depression is used to the max and so on, it is of course really hard to penetrate, but it is penetrable at the least. So mobility, 52 tons heavy vehicle, 750 horsepower engine, 14.33 specific power, 35 top speed, 14 reverse speed, and hull traverse speed is extremely amazing, I can say, almost 40 hull traverse speed. This is no joke, guys. So concealment, I do not care, and 380 meter view range. Now just for the lols, back to the comparison, configure, let's fully boost it. Why the hell not with food as well, and regular equipment units, like I think with that view range, where is it? That was stock 380. I think I am going to use coated optics as well. Yes, I think I'm going to do that. So this is the vehicle with full boost activated, Brothers in Arms, of course, food and stuff like that. Over 2300 DPM. What else? View range over 445 easily. Accuracy 0.36. Aiming time 2.69 seconds. So yeah, aiming time is still quite weak. Reload time 11.47. But this is 50 DP prototype in the game. Let's move on into our cherry on the top of the cake. And finally, our today's cherry on the top of the cake is Object 279. This weird looking vehicle with 4 tracks is actually in the game files now. I know we have a couple vehicles in the game with 4 tracks already, for example like T95, but not with this track setup. I'm really interested to see how they worked that one out. Like what happens if you track only one of the middle tracks, or when you track one of the outer tracks? Are you still able to move forward? Do you lose mobility? Is this entirely new game mechanic that is going to be introduced with this vehicle? I am excited to see that. Or if your outer track is tracked, you are still tracked like any other tank in this game, which would suck because people have so many other parts to hit, or this vehicle is going to be tracked like shot after shot, because it is going to be super easy, just hit into the middle. Or maybe it has to be like that for a balancing reasons. Maybe if one of your 4 tracks gets blown off, you cannot move for balancing reasons, because think about it. Those middle tracks, they remove lower plate. This vehicle doesn't have lower plate, ladies and gentlemen. And sides are really nicely angled as well. So to take this vehicle out, you have to track it, you have to flank it. And I guess this is why they are designing it like that. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, let's take a look at this premium / special tank. Once again, question mark, we do not know if this is going to be a reward vehicle or if this is going to be released after all. Maybe this is just for some kind of a special event, we'll see. At the moment, Tier 10 heavy tank with 2400 HP and with 850 horsepower engine. It is 60 tons heavy with 65 ton maximum load limit. Power to weight ratio 14.17 horsepower per ton. Maximum speed 40 moving forward, 13 moving backwards. Hull traverse speed 30, turret traverse speed 29.2 degrees per second, and ground resistance numbers 1.25, 1.63 and 2.4. View range 400 meters is really awesome for a Soviet vehicle. But now armor. Yes, that armor. This is actually still the reason why I am in doubt that this tank is going to be introduced to the regular World of Tanks outside from any event. Because hull armor 170, 130 and 90, and you know how it is sloped. Turret armor 300, 140 and 90. So the only way how to kill it is pretty much to track it and flank it. Like you have to penetrate the rear. And I do not even want to think about what this vehicle can do versus Tier 8s. Like they have no chance penetrating it whatsoever frontally, even with premium rounds. And sides after it is angled like it is at the moment. But gun 122mm M62D2A gun. 440 alpha damage, 530 with HE, penetration 258, 340 with premium heat, I guess, and 68 with HE, rate of fire close to 6 rounds per minute, average DPM, I guess this is 2622, reload time is 10 seconds, accuracy 0.36, aiming time 2.4 seconds, gun depression -5 degrees, gun elevation 15 degrees. Object 279 with 4 tracks. Once again, I like to say it. Excalibur, Chimera, 50 DP. I am excited to see those vehicles on the battlefield. Actually, I'm the most excited about Chimera, simply because how it looks and those gun stats seem to be really amazing. But about 279, I like to see this tank in action, but this armor needs to be tuned. This armor needs to be looked at before they are going to do anything else, unless it is for some special event. But ladies and gentlemen, this was my today's episode to you, featuring 4 new vehicles added into the game files. Tomorrow I am going to make another news episode for you, featuring another upcoming premium medium tank from USA. Special premium medium tank. So stay tuned for that. I hope you enjoy it. If you did, thumbs up button is for that. If you didn't, thumbs down button is for that. I get you next time with something else. Much love, stay awesome, take care, and bye.